River City Girls is a game that a lot of people hold dear, especially those who love beat 'em ups. For me, it was the game that spearheaded the recent revival of the genre, so a lot of people have been massively anticipating the sequel, River City Girls 2. Does it live up to the hype? Before we get into it, be awesome, click that subscribe button and that bell button, or be even more awesome and check out my new channel, A Bit More Jordan for a lot more me. Long retrospectives on classic games. You'll love it, probably. Now, the elephant in the room, this game has released on the Switch, but only in Hong Kong and Japan. The publisher, Arc System Works, went ahead with the release even though WayForward, the developer and Western publisher, have held it back ever so slightly. So what we've got here isn't exactly feature complete. This current version is lacking online play and 4-player co-op. That will be added later. There's only 2 players for the moment. This will be patched into the Asian release, of course. So if you're wanting it early, you're not really missing out on anything too important in my opinion. I mean, really, who has 3 friends? Come on. So the story kicks off straight after the victory in the first game. In fact, the cutscene starts with the bad lady from before being booted out of the window. With the Yakuza sent to Coventry, the true big boss who's serving time is massively cheesed off. So much so, he smashes a hole in the wall and jumps out. Not quite as subtle as Andy Dufresne, but hey, he doesn't have to crawl through sewage, so who's the clever one? He's taking back the city. All the while, our 2 heroines get expelled from school and spend the next 2 months sat on the sofa just playing video games, which is a surprisingly good excuse to make them lose all their abilities from the previous game. Eating Cheetos and playing Fortnite for 2 months would do that to anyone. So, you're taking back River City just 2 months after you'd already taken it back. There's a fair bit of story here with back and forth between our 2 ladies and the surrounding characters. They both exhibit the degenerative 90s type, which is charming in a way, and the story is fine for what it was. I'll be honest, I just wanted to beat people up. And when they started with the meta humor, my eyes just started to glaze over. And by meta, I mean like 4th wall breaking, not taking the piss out of Mark Zuckerberg, which, I could fully get behind. Yeah, I like my funnies, but meta humor has always struck me as the blandest kind of writing. Sorry. So, for the time being, you can play 2-player co-op. You can have friendly fire on if you actually want to start rumbling with your siblings or spouse if they accidentally uppercut you in the game. Turn that off for a safer Christmas. That's my PSA for this week. From the off, you can choose between the 2 girls and their boyfriends. To River City fans, they need no introduction. There are 2 more characters that you can unlock, but I had to choose Misako because when I was at school, there was a girl a couple of years older than me who I fancied the pants off, and she was kind of like Misako. I never spoke to her because she'd have probably beaten the crap out of me. Anyways, tangents aside, this is a game that's much more fun playing co-op, 2 people together. Beat 'em ups are often more fun with someone by your side, but as someone who's currently in lockdown here in good old China, I couldn't bribe anyone to play with me over a long period. But trust me, you can still have plenty of fun playing with yourself, which I think most of our audience are used to doing anyways, am I right? You have a weak attack and a strong attack, a special attack, the usual sort of stuff. It's actually pretty tough at first and does feel limited, but River City Girls is also an RPG because you level up your characters and unlock new combos, which is when things really start flowing nicely. And yeah, this isn't your standard beat 'em up. This is an adventure RPG game with beat 'em up mechanics. You have a whole River City to go through. Some are unlocked until you progress the story a bit, but this is a big place. Lots to see and plenty of missions to get on with, which is great for variety and longevity. But it does mean there is a lot of traversal and a hell of a lot of loading screens, which can get very tiresome if you're just going from A to B. Sure, there are shortcuts with a bus route, but it's still a lot. And I'm not a technical guy, but it would have been nice to have some areas connected without loading screens. Not saying it had to be all open world, a seamless transition, but some areas grouped together would have enhanced the experience. Perhaps the loading screens are something to be addressed later on, we will have to see. And I guess the PS5 version, loading screens may not exist at all. I don't know. You'll be growing your heroes, leveling up, and gaining that good old cash. cash which can be used in a variety of stores around the place, and there's a lot. Food is an important item since health drops tend to be few and far between. You can get a literal smorgasbord of yummy looking food to boost your stamina, and each gives something a bit extra to separate them, with boost your speed, attacks, or quicker recovery of your special attacks, things like that. Spend your money wisely and make sure you have a bunch of them before a boss fight because they are genuinely tough and a war of attrition. I love the idea that in the middle of a rumble, you need to pull out a burger or a milkshake just to keep going. Look, if a tennis player needs to whip out a banana between sets, then what's wrong with a street brawler doing it? Same thing, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Now, while I love this game, there is one mechanic I just adore. If Pokemon was a street brawler, it would be this, because you can collect the street ruffians to join you in battle. You can have 2 equipped at a time, and pressing the shoulder buttons will make them jump into the arena and do a unique attack. Well, as long as they don't get lugged in the face beforehand. How do you get them? Well, when there's a bunch of thugs coming at you, you need to take all of them out bar the last one that you want to catch as such. Whittle their health down a bit and they will beg for mercy. That's when you can go up to them and recruit them. Then they hang around your hideout wherever you may be at that time, and it's just hilarious and maybe want to catch them all. Or perhaps the phrase should be, gotta coerce them all. This is actually my favorite part of the game, even though it's just kind of a gimmick. It doesn't really affect the main gameplay, but I just found it compelling. Now, as I've said, this will be available on Western eShops in the near future. WayForward have said it will be this year still. I'm not 100% of what the price is going to be, but the Japanese eShop equivalent is about £20 in the UK and $24 in the US. I would be surprised if it's as cheap as that, since the first game is $30 on the eShop, and WayForward's website says it's gonna be $40, but I don't know if that's their final answer. That's from quite a while back, so we'll have to see for sure. But the Japanese price for a beat 'em up, especially one as punchy as this, that is a good price for sure. $24 sounds a lot better than 40. I don't know about you. If you want it digitally, either waiting for the Western release or getting the Asian Japanese release, check the links in the description for eShop credits for different regions. It is also available physically everywhere. Oh well, except for Europe because limited run obviously. Yeah, limited run sold pre-orders for this a while back, a North American version, but that's long past, so yeah, you've missed out already. Well, not to worry, because the Japanese version is better anyways, because it's cheaper and has both River City Girls 1 and 2 together. 2 games for a lower price, that is a win. Or if you don't care about the first game, maybe you have it already, Hong Kong has a standalone release of River City Girls 2 for cheaper, obviously. And these have English as well, and play on any Switch console. So if you want to order these and import them for yourself, check the links in the description and the pinned comment. You can purchase 2 awesome beat 'em ups for one affordable price. Keep it forever, or have some resale value once you've had your fill. Gotta take care of the wallet. And if you click our links, you can also get a tasty 5% off with our current discount code SWTV5. Plus it's free shipping over $100. If you're watching this in the future, that code's probably dead, so subscribe and watch the latest Let's Get Physical video that pops up every Monday for the most up-to-date discount codes. The presentation is off the charts for this, by the way. That's why it's commanding such a price, but it's definitely worth it. You can see the total love poured into every aspect of this game. The visuals are wonderful, bright, punky, amazing attention to detail. Despite being a city, they've managed to cram a visual variety here. I don't think I've ever used the word lush before, because when I was at school, it was a word all the chav girls used to say, but I think I may very well describe River City Girls 2 as lush. I love the background detail, the nods, the Easter eggs. Bimmy was here! I love it. The cutscenes are wonderful in the comic book presentation, very dynamic, and the bad guy reveals are the perfect kind of cheesiness. They pop off the screen immensely. The soundtrack is absolutely excellent too, phenomenal in fact. There's some strong 80s, 90s vibes going on, I love it. I'm not used to having so many vocal songs in video game soundtracks, but it was quite refreshing. And I think I'll have the song I'm Better Than You in my head longer than is healthy. It ain't gonna be great for social interactions when I got that chorus swaggering in my head. Megan McDuffie did an amazing job here and she deserves all the plaudits. You can listen to the soundtrack on YouTube, by the way. It is also worth noting that there's both Japanese and English voice acting here. I much preferred the Japanese voice acting because it was less Saturday morning cartoon, but it did make it difficult to keep up with all the chatter once you're slamming a sofa into a Mexican wrestler's head. Overall, if you enjoyed River City Girls 1, well, you've already made up your mind about this one. But for those on the fence, it's a really great game, and that's coming from someone who's often rather apathetic towards the genre. It's got so much going for it. Style, presentation, content. It's a game that's going to last you, and you'll be coming back to it time and again. It's a pity about the loading times. That did quite annoy me, but if you're looking for a meaty, punchy experience, I'm not sure there's any better. There's a variety in a genre that often lacks it, and it's going to last you a good while. A 9 out of 10. Now I just need to get that damn song, I'm Better Than You, out of my head, please. Alright, thanks for watching. If you watched all the way through, you are a massive legend. Leave me a burger emoji because playing this game made me rather crave burgers and milkshakes. God, I haven't had a milkshake in years. Apparently not a thing in a third-tier Chinese city, unless it's Oreo, which I'd rather have a needle milkshake. Do McDonald's still do banana milkshakes? God, they were absolute boss. Anyways, please go watch some of our other stuff. I think one of the other lads reviewed River City Girls 1. Please check out my new channel, A Bit More Jordan, for a lot more me. If you love me and my humor, well, you'll like that, I'm pretty sure. And every Monday, I tell you all the physical releases for the Switch. Check out our latest discount codes and other stuff over there. See you later. Bye bye.